Hey, welcome back. It's the hot topic. It's the thing everyone is talking about right now. It's Bitcoin. And today we're going to discuss how to purchase it in Canada. But before we get into it, do me that favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and please hit that like button so more people like you can see this video. And don't forget about our Race to 10,000 Subscribers contest where we'll pay off one lucky subscriber's mortgage or rent payment for a month just for subscribing to this channel. So in order to enter, all you have to do is click the subscribe button below and you're in. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's discuss Bitcoin. And before I start, I'm going to make a disclaimer. I am not an expert in Bitcoin. I am not an expert in investing. These are my opinions and my opinions alone. Please don't make this like the silver and gold video where all the Bitcoin faithfuls get in here and start slamming me and getting into the comments and absolutely going after me personally, because all this is a video where I'm going to do my best to describe Bitcoin in layman's terms so people can understand it, why they should invest in it, and how to buy it in Canada. So Bitcoin enthusiasts, leave me alone. This is a video for informational purposes only, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on Bitcoin because I'm not. But that being said, I think this is an asset class that cannot be avoided, it cannot be ignored, and it needs to become a part of people's portfolios as we go forward and as more and more companies accept it as a legitimate form of currency. So let's start with the basics of Bitcoin. And this is the basics. Geez, how many basics was that? Okay, so the basics of it are this. It is a currency that was designed to be free of intervention from banks and governments. And it's mined by computers that solve progressively harder puzzles. And once a puzzle is solved, a Bitcoin is earned. And this is where you hear about companies having huge, massive computer centers that are designed solely for mining Bitcoin. That's what they're doing. They're trying to solve puzzles with computers. Now, I've avoided cryptocurrencies forever because I just didn't feel comfortable with the volatility. I mean, just today alone, the price range of Bitcoin has been from $35,000 to $49,000 Canadian. And that's just in a single 24-hour period. So this is a highly volatile investment. And what I really don't love about it is that a single buyer or seller can really move the value of Bitcoin. I mean, those trades that made the price drop from $49,000 down to $35,000, that is likely one investor who was selling a whole bunch of Bitcoin all at once, and as a result, basically tanked the market on a single day. He probably sold a pretty significant amount, and as a result, that's why the price dropped. However, Bitcoin as an asset class and cryptocurrency as an asset class is becoming really hard to ignore. The reason why is because since 2009, it has had a 9 million% increase in value. 9 million%. That is unbelievable. In fact, it has been the single best performing asset class of the last decade. Now, quick sidebar here, what you need to understand if you're investing in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter is that you're speculating on demand. So the demand of the market, the demand of buyers. If there are lots of buyers who want it, the price is going to go up. If there are not a lot of buyers who want it, the price is going to go down. And what you're doing by saying, yes, I'm going to invest in a cryptocurrency is you're saying that I think more people are going to want it. The supply is pretty much defined. We know that Bitcoin is only ever going to have 21 million Bitcoins. 18.5 million of them have already been mined. So realistically, we are not expecting there to be a surge in Bitcoins, which will devalue it. Basically, when we're making this investment, we are investing solely in the expectation that more people are going to want it, more investors are going to want it, and maybe even the governments are going to want it. So keep in mind that that's what you're speculating on, is demand. Now, 2020 has shown that cryptocurrency is definitely gaining mainstream attention. Companies like PayPal are now accepting it, and Amex is investing in cryptocurrencies. And you can get it and buy it with investing platforms like Wealthsimple and Robinhood, which is basically an indication that it is gaining mainstream acceptance. I mean, you can even buy a Lamborghini now with Bitcoin. And as a result, it's starting to make sense to own it as part of a portfolio. I'm not saying put your entire net worth into Bitcoin, but what I am saying is that a small percentage of your portfolio should definitely be invested into cryptocurrencies. And when I say small, I mean really small, 1 to 2%. I'm treating this like gold or silver, a store of value, a hedge against inflation, and something that I want to hold very minimally in my portfolio. I definitely want to make sure that I can take advantage of the potential upside, but I don't want to risk my entire net worth on something that is hard to understand and that is demand driven. Because what you have to remember about investing in something like cryptocurrency is it's not like investing in a GM or a Ford that has a long history of making products and making profits and has assets. No, what you're investing in is something that is theoretical and something that people give the value to, just like they give value to any other currency. People trust the American dollar or the Canadian dollar, and that's why it has value. People are beginning to trust cryptocurrencies more and more, but understand that they aren't something that makes value. They're simply something that has value, and that's because we as citizens give it to them. Now, for me, I want to make sure that I'm investing in cryptocurrency in a safe and secure manner. And it seems that the go-to place to invest in cryptocurrency seems to be Coinbase. Now, that being said, I'm going to go a different direction. I am going to invest in Mogo. And the reason why is because it's simple, super safe, and secure. And I don't really need the ability to take my Bitcoin and put it onto a virtual wallet that I can travel with. I simply need a place to hold it so I can have it as part of my portfolio. And the easiest and most simple way to do that is to use Mogo. For me, it took less than 5 minutes to set up my Mogo account. I was able to fund the account in less than 30 minutes using an Interac e-transfer. And basically inside an hour, I had made my first purchase of Bitcoin. Now, Mogo also gave me $5 for activating the account. Then they gave me $5 for funding the account. So after I funded the account, I had an extra $10 to invest of their money, which I thought was great. Anytime a company will let me start from a position of being ahead, I am definitely a happy man. Once the account is funded, it becomes really easy to invest. All you do is you click the transaction button, you select buy, enter the amount that you want to buy, and then complete the transaction. Really simple. For me, I'm going to start small. I'm going to invest $1,000 in Bitcoin. And because it's so volatile, I mean, just today alone, that $49,000 to $35,000 spread, I want to be careful about how I go about investing in this. So what I'm going to do is dollar cost averaging. And what I've set up is a calendar reminder for every Monday to invest $100 over 10 weeks. And I'm just going to take the emotion out of it, buy $100 at a time. If it goes up in value, so be it. If it goes down in value, hey, I got a deal. The only exception to this will be if there's a big single day drop in the value of Bitcoin, I may move up my purchasing from Monday to whatever day the value of Bitcoin dropped. Now, this is a little bit different type of investment than a stock or a bond where you can only buy it during certain hours during the week. There are opportunities to purchase Bitcoin 24/7, anytime, which means that if you're doing dollar cost averaging and you want to buy on dips, that you want to be paying attention to what's going on in the market. And Mogo is great because it will send notifications based on what's happening with the price of Bitcoin at any given time. So I know I'm covered in that aspect as well. Then I'm eventually going to work up to 1% or 2% of the value of my stock portfolio in Bitcoin holdings. Again, I'm treating this very much like gold or silver as a hedge against inflation. And eventually, once I get to my limit that I want to purchase in my portfolio, which is probably going to be 2%, then what I'll do is quarterly rebalancing. And what that means is that if Bitcoin goes above 2% of my portfolio value, I'm going to sell it off and bring it back so that the Bitcoin holdings are only 2%. And if they drop and become less than 2% of the value of my portfolio, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy more and bring it up to 2%. And that way, I'm taking the emotion of buying and selling Bitcoin completely out of the equation. And all I'm doing is doing a very unemotional rebalance once a quarter to make sure that I'm not owning too much of it or that I don't own too little of it. And as a result of that, what will end up happening is that if the value goes down, I'm going to end up buying more at a lower price. And if the value goes up, I'm selling at a higher price, with ultimately the goal being to increase the value of my holdings in Bitcoin in line with the rest of my portfolio. Obviously, using Mogo is what makes this really easy because making a transaction on Mogo is super simple. The other thing I like about Mogo is how safe and secure it is. One, it's a Canadian company, so I know that they are governed by the rules of my country, not the rules of somebody else's country. And also 95% of the Bitcoin that Mogo holds for its members is held in what's called cold storage. And what cold storage means is that it is disconnected from the internet. So there's no way to get in and hack it and steal it. It's completely separate and disconnected from the servers and everything else so that it is safe and secure. And that to me means a lot. And to me, that is a better option than having it in a digital wallet that's, at home and that I have to remember where I put it and remember all the passwords and everything else. Mogo's just taking care of the safety and security of it for me, which I love. Now, of course, Mogo isn't anonymous. It isn't the type of place you want to invest if you are trying to hide your money or do money laundering or stuff like that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not using it to try to avoid paying taxes or anything else like that. I'm simply using Mogo to hold it so that I can have cryptocurrency in my portfolio without having to worry about risking a huge amount of my net worth. So for me, the safety, the ease, and not having to worry about where I put a digital wallet or worry about getting hacked is huge. And that is why I'm using Mogo. Now, if you want to use Mogo as well, there's a link in the description below. It'll get you that $5. Obviously, I'll get compensated a little bit for that, so it helps me pay for the cost of making these videos and whatnot. I absolutely appreciate that if you use it. And if you found value in this video, do me that favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget about our race to 10,000 subscribers, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.